What's going on, everyone? So, one of the big things that the San Antonio Spurs could really use is shooting. The San Antonio Spurs need some shooting out on the perimeter, and Malik Beasley is officially cleared. He was being investigated for gambling, but he is free and clear. They are no longer looking into him. He is, viewed completely innocent. There's always those kind of things when you're talking about something like this, right? It's the perception. Yes, he's innocent, no problem, right? The courts deem him, federal government deems him in the clear, but organizational, opinions, fan opinions, so on and so forth, right? The public opinion, it's still like, oh, and anytime he has a bad stretch or goes on a poor run, it's like, oh, okay. You don't want that perception. So would a team like the San Antonio Spurs, would they be interested in maybe taking a risk, taking a flyer on a guy like a Malik Beasley, who's coming off of two excellent seasons with Milwaukee and Detroit, right? Talking about a guy that shot over 41% in both of those last seasons on volume. He shot almost 42% last year on almost 10 attempts from three-point range. Talk about volume. That's volume. Right, averaged nearly 16 points or over 16 points a game, right? And could solve a lot of these Spurs kind of shooting woes and concerns, especially guy off the bench, talking about a vet minimum contract. You're talking to a guy you're bringing in as like your 15th player, right? But I don't hate it. Like, he's not a guy you're going to sign to training camp, because there's several teams that would sign him and be interested in him. I mean, the New York Knicks are already a team that are looking to maybe bring him on and sign him. And I'm sure that there will be several other teams that kind of, are interested in him. Obviously, again, the kind of perception, I'm curious to see how many teams are willing to maybe go into, the Malik Beasley business, or how many teams kind of look at it and go like, it's not even worth the risk at all. But I mean, you're talking about a guy that's worth more than a vet minimum. He's 28, he'll be 29 now, a month into the season. So he's a guy that still has a lot left in the tank. Every year, he's one of the best three-point shooters per volume and percentage every year. Last handful of years, he's been top 3, right? Behind guys like Buddy Hield and Steph Curry, right? Malik Beasley is a guy that I do think could really help the Spurs in kind of their lack of three-point shooting, their lack of just shooting, period. It's kind of one of the biggest kind of concerns and flaws. And now you have a guy like De'Aaron Fox, that you have a drive and kick partner in a Malik Beasley. Victor Wembanyama wants to come out. I also think Malik Beasley could really help guys like Stephon Castle, like Dylan Harper, like Julian Champagnie on just their three-point shooting and his mechanics and stuff like that, kind of help mold and shape some of our young guys and our young guards. Last thing that they need really is like another guard, but you're not looking for him to come in and be like you're the best player on your team or anything like that. You're looking for him to come in, kind of play a role and just be a key contributor for you. Like, that's all it really is. You're just looking for him to be a rotation guy and finding minutes. He's a guy that's 6'4", 6'5", so he could slot in. Ideally, he's your 2, but on occasion you could slot him in at the 3 spot. Kind of give him some minutes in that regard. He's also a guy that plays, right? The best ability is availability. Look at the last few years. Last year, he played all 82 games. Then he played 79 games the year before that. Then 81 games, 79 games. So the guy is a guy that plays. You look at the last handful of seasons. And like I said, the last 2 years, three-point shooting. With Milwaukee, took 7 attempts and shot 41.3%. With Detroit, on 9.3 attempts, shot 41.6%. I mean, you're talking volume, you're talking great percentage, talking everything. And to kind of add him, again, in that take that flyer on a guy, in that vet kind of role, vet minimum role, as he's not going to really be your 15th guy. He'd probably be your, in the top 8 rotation-wise. But he's a guy that, is low risk, high reward. You always just cut him and get off of him if things start, not working out or whatever. Or use him as salary filler in a trade, around the trade deadline or something. Like, there's options to where you wouldn't be stuck with Malik Beasley. And there's always going to be teams that are interested in him. There's always going to be teams that, that just need the shooting. And especially once you start getting into the season and time's kind of been removed from, his investigation stuff, people have short memories. People are going to forget about it. People aren't going to care about it anymore. People move on. And then Malik Beasley, teams will be more open to kind of like, okay, yeah, sure, let's bring Malik Beasley in because you don't have that perception. Or he's really good for you, and that just makes you better. right? Maybe you find that kind of shooter and have a home for him. But gotta go over last year, because last year was one of his best seasons, period. I mean, he's had some other good seasons. He had a season in Minnesota where he averaged just under 21 points per game. And then the following season where he averaged just under 20 per game. But again, 82 games played, 18 games started, 27.8 minutes per game, shot 13.1 field goals per game, 43% overall, 43% on the dot. From three-point range, as I mentioned earlier, 9.3 attempts on 41.6%. So almost primarily a three-point shooter. I mean, you're talking literally like 2/3 of his attempts were from three-point range. Two-point range, 3.7 attempts, shot 46.6%, which was actually down from the previous year with Milwaukee on, he was 53.3%, but still almost 47% from 2-point range is still really good. EFG of 57.9%, which again is down from the 60% it was with Milwaukee. Free throw shooting. Free throw shooting has been a struggle for him, which is really odd, because he has been for a good majority of his career in the 80s, or at least high 70s. Last few seasons, dating back to when he was with the Lakers, he was 62%. With Milwaukee, he was 71.4%. And last year, he was 67.9%. And last year, it was on 1.7 attempts, which is the most attempts he has taken since the 2020-2021 season. So his most volume, he also was, not great shooting free throws, but again, he's not taking a ton of them, right? So I don't really think that that's like a huge concern. He's primarily a three-point specialist at this point for teams. Right, but rebounding, 2.6 rebounds, which is actually, again, down from the last few seasons, even dating back to the year where he was with Utah and then the Lakers. He was with Utah 3.6, with the Lakers 3.3, and then with Milwaukee 3.7. But he's also more out on the perimeter last season with Detroit than he was in previous years too. So that's something to kind of keep in mind. Assist 1.7, he averaged a steal, 0.1 blocks, and then 16.3 points per game. So guy that really took some strides, a guy that is, again, high volume, good shooting, just gives you that confidence to put him out there, and you know that, hey, he's a guy that can knock it down. Slot him alongside Malik Beasley at times, slot him alongside. I mean, you could have units out there where you go like, De'Aaron Fox, Malik Beasley, Stephon Castle, Harrison Barnes, and like a Victor Wembanyama. Right, and have kind of the defensive purposes. Also, Malik Beasley, he's not really a great defender, but he actually has been solid the last few seasons, like just kind of getting at and buying in on the defense side. Not a guy that I'm looking to be your defensive specialist or anything, but he has shown that he can at least, like when he's bought in, can actually hold his own a little bit. So that's something to kind of keep in mind as well. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion. I pass a question on you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments. What do you think? How do you feel? What are your thoughts? Do you love the idea? Hate the idea? Kind of mixed in the middle? Either way, let me know down in the comments. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me out. So I enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. Not subscribe channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one.